Hi, beautiful people. Hello, hello. Another day, another dollar. It's so awkward to be on here and have no one uh, in yet. Because I know you guys will see this later, so it's not like I can just sit here and wait for people to log in. So, yes, the last live stream, well, yeah, the last and the first, was pretty awesome. The goal was to have 10 people. We ended up with 29 people in the live, surpassed almost tripled the goal. So that was awesome. Thank you guys for hanging out, participating. And the final vote so far is 2 live streams a week. So you guys want to see me twice a week? I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Either I was thinking Tuesdays and Thursdays, but yeah, twice a week I can do that. Plus, this month is Women's History Month. That's why I'm doing these lives. And we, as women across the decades, have done so much. So I have something to talk about every time we meet. But still, this is also an open live stream. So if you have questions about my Ghana project or the web series I'll be doing eventually, you can ask me anything regarding that. Personal life, I guess. I mean, you can ask me questions about that too, but for the most part, we'll be talking about women. And this one specifically, American women in the early 1900s. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to go by decades. So right now, we can go like late 1800s, early 1900s. And I'm going to talk about, oh, I just went blank. See, sometimes when you're live, you lose your thoughts. Let's see. Ooh, Harriet Tubman. Yeah. So eventually, I'm going to talk about Harriet Tubman. There's so many women, and around the last over the last 100 years, there's always someone to talk about. But definitely, we're going to start with women in the railroad industry. So if you saw my picture, that was a photo shoot I did a couple of years ago. I was driving in Los Angeles, and I drove by this field, and I'm like, look at those locomotives. I've never seen any of those trains in real life. So where I was driving, it's an old museum, and there's just trains. I think the earliest train they had was from 1812. I was like, what? 18, was it 1812? Yeah. And then the one that I'm sitting in front of in the photo shoot is from what was it? 92, I think. Yeah. So when I drove by, I'm like, oh, that's a photo shoot location. Period. And then the photographer is T. Jules, and we made that happen. Um, we did some things we shouldn't have did, but we wanted the picture, because when we went, you're not supposed to have any type of extra equipment, just you and the camera and the photographer. But I was like, no, we're gonna get these pictures. So we had like this whole reflector to reflect the light and everything. So we just made it happen. They came out awesome, and yeah, so that's the background of the picture. All right. So, any questions so far? I have one person. Who's that person? Welcome. Who are you? Announce yourself, please. Um, This article I'm going to read is titled Move Over, Sir, Woman Working on the Railroad. Hello? Boom. It's actually an exhibition. Wow. It has over 150 years of women contributions and trailblazing when it comes to transportation. Yes, yes. And if you think of yourself as equal, eventually you'll be treated that way. Period. And that was a quote by Bonnie Leake. Bonnie Leake and Edwina Justice, women who stepped into a man's world to become Union Pacific's first female and first black female locomotive engineer, respectfully. That's it, right? Bonnie Leake and Edwina Justice, the first female and first Black female locomotive engineer in the industry. What? If you think of yourself as equal, you'll eventually be treated that way. And I think that's powerful because how you think is how you act, right? And how you act towards people is how people will act towards you. And we know there's discrimination, there's all this stuff in the world. But at the end of the day, I remember one sermon my pastor said, he mentioned you have to teach people how to treat you. And I'm like, yes, because imagine people don't know how to treat you. It's not automatic that people are going to be friendly. It's not automatic that people are going to be respectful. It is not an automatic thing. And some people just don't know how to treat others, right? And if you want to be treated a specific way, you got to teach people how to treat you. So that, I'll never forget that quote. I'm like, oh, so I actually have to take the time and tell people how I want to be treated. That's why sometimes under my under my YouTube videos, oh no. I understand it's a free community. Of course, you can say whatever you want, but so can I. And I will come for you. No, just playing. But no, like there's no way you can just say whatever on my under my comments and get away with it. Nobody, because I have no problem with confronting. Because some people, oh my gosh, I don't want to upset my subscribers. One thing I understand, my page is not a requirement for your life, and you can delete me at any time. Good afternoon, sis. Long-time subscriber, first time chatting. Wonderful blessing. Hello, Deborah Ocherry. Deborah Ocher. Ocher? Is that French? Deborah Ocher. Where are you located? And thank you so much for subscribing. Because I started my page September 26th of 2021. And it seems like you've been with me since then. So thank you for hanging out. Hasn't it been crazy? Have you been following the videos and watching all the posts? Man, life is something else, ain't it? And get ready for, not this week. There's a video dropping this week, but there's another video next week. You guys you guys get first dibs. Guess what the title is going to be? It's going to be a branch off of the first experience in Ghana video that I did last Saturday. You guys get insider information. So the next title is going to be second. I'm drawing a blank. My goodness. All I know is the end part of it is going to be doing business in Ghana as a single woman. Beware and on guard. And I'm going to share some stuff that I haven't shared yet. Yeah, it's just different in Ghana. And I'm pretty sure things can happen in other countries. Ghana is just where I am and things are happening there. So that's my story. I can't make up any other story, but just what I've experienced as a single woman in Ghana doing business with all men, because everyone is male in the real estate that I've dealt with. The developer, the landowner, the chief, the engineering crew for the soil testing. Everybody is male. Chatting from Jamaica, man. The name is actually Ghanaian. Okay, spelled phonetically to help American pronounce it. Okay, thank you for that. Jamaica. And so are you Jamaican, or are you from Ghana? You moved to Jamaica? Or I learned that a lot of Jamaicans got their automatic citizenship to Ghana because they trace the lineage and they know from the transatlantic enslavement trade that you guys were dropped off there first and then they went to the States. So I think that was 10 or 15 years ago. A lot of you guys got automatic citizenship, which is awesome. I wish. But yeah, so are you originally from Ghana and you moved to Jamaica, or you're already in Jamaica, like you're raised there, but you were able to get your citizenship in Ghana? I wish. Ooh, I wish. Okay, what was I saying? Yeah, dealing with men in Ghana. So that's going to be my next video, the next video, because yeah, I've been dealing with all men, and Thank goodness I haven't been, it's not been to the point where I'm just like, you guys are crazy. I'm gonna call the police. It hasn't been like that, but it's still like, ooh, if you were to do that in the States, like, you lose your job. You like, there's in the States, we have ethic lines. They're like 800 ethic lines. So if you have any issues, you can just call. American born and bred. It's been a wonderful journey. Ooh, your story sounds interesting then. I know a couple of people from Jamaica. They're in Ghana right now. They started they already had a vegan restaurant. So they just opened up their vegan restaurant in Ghana. So when I go back, I cannot wait to try their food. And I do not know the name of it. I forgot. I forgot the name. Um, but yeah, guys, I don't know if you guys experienced that in Ghana, or in any other country, but it seems very patriarchal in Ghana, and especially with more of female entrepreneurs coming from different cultures, from different countries, going to Ghana. It's going to be a rude awakening for some of these men. A rude awakening. Uh, but but yeah, so that's just something I've had to deal with, and so far so good. It is what it is. Okay. Alrighty. These trailblazers are among roughly a dozen women featured in a new exhibit at Union Pacific's museum in Council Bluffs, Iowa, entitled "Move Over, Sir: Women Working on the Railroad." When the railroad allowed the American public to move westward, it not only opened up possibilities for men seeking their fortunes, but women pursuing opportunities outside the home. In the late 1830s and 40s, telegraph lines expanded alongside new railroad tracks, creating professional opportunities for women, despite continuing social norms discouraging them from working outside the home. That was a lot in that paragraph. Let's break that down, okay? So, first of all, let's talk about the innovation. So, in Ghana, for example, I looked at properties that already had electricity and water and all that stuff. And the developer that I bought the beachfront property from, he actually had to bring water and electricity to that area that I'm in, that my land is in now. And he was telling me, I think he said he spent over $100,000 to bring water and electricity to that area. What? Because most of us, we were born into, there's water already here, there's electricity already here. So I didn't even conceive what it would take to bring water and electricity to an area. And that's why the other land that I got through Casa States, there's no water, electricity, and there's no like company that's super close by. So we're going to have to bring all that power and electricity and water, unless you go off grid, which is a possibility. You do a borehole and you just supply your own self with water, and then you do solar panels. Well, most people are not going to do that. So imagine you have to pay, like for my developer, my land is close to Salt Pond in Central Region. That's like about 2.5 hours from Accra. He had to bring public water and public electricity to that area. And it was a lot of money. And I said, "Ooh, we have a big awakening coming because it takes a lot of money to bring water and electricity to area." Okay, so I brought that up saying when, especially as women, as men too, but specifically as women, our innovative ideas bring jobs, brings opportunity. Like, that's why inventions, all that, the witty ideas is so important because it opens up doors for other people with visions to come into your vision and make it happen. Because, like, there's no way we can do all this on our own. Like, we need each other, period. And yeah, so just reading that one part of the article, innovation and bringing your vision to reality affects other people. That's why when I start building I've already hired people in Ghana, because on my little assignments, like testing the soil, I hired locally. Surveying the land, I hired locally. The landscaping search, that's local hire. So even though I haven't built anything yet, I still had to hire local to to start the vision. So whatever vision you have, do it because it's going to end up blessing other people, especially if it's in transportation, if it's in real estate, land development, period. Because we need one thing I noticed about the Chinese, because I lived in China, they are for themselves and themselves alone. And we can say all that we want about their communist country and how the way they do things, but they have each other's back. Like to the point to where their last name is their first name. Like you here, we call each other by our first name. There is family first and you second, right? And that whole type of culture comes all the way down. Now they're in Ghana, right? We call them neo colonizers, but guess what, guys? Unity. They're coming together and helping each other. I need better. Is the lighting okay? Need some more lighting. Hmm. But yeah, so I'm just saying we need to come together and stick together. And these women changed the whole industry when it comes to transportation. Okay, second part. Telegraphs, lines, creating professional opportunities for women despite continuing social norms, discouraging them from working outside the home. I'm sorry. Yes, let's talk about that, right? I'm for every type of family structure, whether it's the woman stays at home and is a homemaker, because that is a job in itself. Hello. Ooh, my sister-in-law, they have 6 kids, right? Can you imagine? You're literally raising a basketball team, and each one has a different personalities. That alone is a lot. So whether it's the homemaker, I support that system. Whether it's the man at home and the woman working, I support that system. If it's both working, I support that system. At the end of the day, we can do whatever the heck we want. We can do whatever we want. And it's crazy because, through colonization, through, yeah, colonization, they brought that idea to the world that, women stay at home, men go out there. No, it doesn't have to be like that anymore. It's 2022. Hello, right? We can invent things, we can do things. And so, um, yeah, I'm just not for one type of way of having your family. It's all about agreeing. What do you agree about? Let's start there. Alrighty, next. Wartime presented women with opportunities to stretch beyond the narrowly defined roles and expectations of what was considered women's work. Kind of we're just talking about that. In 1943, women held 3,000 maintenance of way positions at Class 1 railroads, more than the number of women up more than the number of women up has worked women up has working in those positions today. At the war's conclusion, women returned home, allowing soldiers to resume their jobs. So, if you don't know a lot about American history, World War II happened. The men had to go fight, so that's why there's women stepped up and did a lot of work that men did. Because now, you want to keep on eating, your man's gone. If you want to keep on eating, you got to go to work, right? And then things still need to be built, like the infrastructure, railroads, the actual roads. Construction still needs to go on. So that opened up opportunities for women to get out there in the workforce. And then when the war was over, women returned home, allowing soldiers to resume their jobs. However, during World War II, many female workers joined unions. Black and Hispanic women also gained entry to railroads, major industrial plants, factories, and other jobs throughout the country, and they fought to hold into their positions. See, when women get together, we can do some powerful stuff. So even though the war was over, the men came back, women still wanted to work, right? And it's crazy that we still have to fight for certain rights. And it's 2022. Like, colonization, lose your hold. It's old, okay? So, have we gotten way better? Yes, in the States, but it's still not where it should be. And it also made me wonder in Ghana where they're at. where are the women at mentally? Because I don't know. I'm a foreigner. I'm trying to renew my mind and learn the culture. But from what I see, I don't see a lot of Ghanaian women um, in business. I see like fashion, cooking. I see that. But the women I see in Ghana that are in real estate, they are from a different country, whether the UK or the States. And I'm just like, where's the Ghanaian woman at? So if you're Ghanaian on here, um, what's the culture? What's the expectation as as a nation for women in Ghana? Because I don't want to offend anyone, but it seems like my mentality, how I was raised, and what I know, bringing it to Ghana, um, has ruffled some feathers. Because like I'm not. No, I don't have to be soft. I think that's also something from colonization that's put on us that women, you're supposed to be soft and nurturing. Anything outside of that, oh no, it's an issue. Why isn't it an issue? Right? If you steal my money, you want me to be nice to you? No, I will not be nice to you. What? That doesn't make any sense. But you're a woman. You should come with a certain elegance. No, no. Give me my stuff. Right? So, but yeah. Um, that expectation. So it's funny because it seems like when a woman shows not aggression but strength, to the especially in religion, you got to be quiet. It's a soft, quiet spirit. What? No. Give me my money. Give me what belongs to me. Don't. There's people stealing ideas. There was what show was it? It was something about a newspaper, and this woman wrote a fantastic article but back in the days, the men took the credit. So what she did one day, she just published it and she didn't put her name on it and just sent it to her boss. And the boss read it and he came out and gathered all the people and he was like, "This is excellent work." And he started calling out all the men. "Did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do this?" And they're like, "No, we didn't write this." And the woman stepped up and said, "I wrote it." And the boss was like, "Oh no, no, like you, there's no way you could have did this." And she was like, "No, this is my work." And so he was in disbelief. So he just got another man's name and put it on her work. Isn't that crazy? And even with what's her name? Well, it's kind of a different story, but the lady that truly wrote The Matrix, the movie, of course, it was a black woman, and they have not given her money. That's a whole different story. But that's kind of that mentality that has been brought till today. And it's so exciting to see women step up, see women get credit for their work. Because at the end of the day, we are human too, right? We can think just as great, we can do just as great. There's no issues, there's no problem with a woman being strong, there's no problem with a woman speaking up for herself. And there's no problem for a woman to do what she wants to do, right? Like, as long as she's not killing nobody, destroying herself, either you like that individual or not. But that's just me, right? And see, I can already tell some people, "Man, that's why you ain't got a man." See, that's another thing. Like, trust me, I have options. Okay. Anyway, wartime, Black and Hispanic. Okay, by the 1970s, many women of Up held clerical roles, including Bonnie Leake, who joined the railroad in 1966 as an office clerk before becoming a crew dispatcher. As a single mother, her motivation to become a locomotive engineer was simple. "I saw how much money the men made, and I knew I could handle the job," Leake said. In 1974, Leake became the first woman accepted by UP for training as a locomotive engineer. After undergoing a physical, intense scrutiny and 6 months of training, engineer Bonnie Leake became a so-called hoghead on the Drag West, running trains from Las Vegas to Milford, Utah, and Yormo in California. What? That is awesome. So yeah, she was the first woman and first American African to do this. Yes, yes, leak. And that's another thing we can talk about. I saw how much money the men made, and I knew I could handle the job. So in California or in the states, there we're still fighting for equal pay. 2022, guys. Oh my goodness, isn't that crazy? There's yeah, and here it motivated Leak and said, I can be doing the same thing that they can do. And obviously, physically, that's hands down. You can just see the physical structure of men is different, but that doesn't mean it's impossible for a woman to do it. And so she saw that, she got motivated, and she became one of the first. She went through physical training and she made it to the end. This is inspiring. What? She said, I love getting on a cold train in the middle of the night, Leek said. It was like being on a cruise ship. You had time to look out the window and figure out what you wanted in life. I planned on finances and dreamed about the kind of house I wanted. Leek didn't think about being the only woman engineer, but admits she was well known system wide. I'm a cowgirl. I like wearing boots, laughed Leek, but I had a job to do, and when I have one, I get it done. Period. And that's how I feel about my journey in Ghana. I have a vision, I see what I want, and I'm going to get it done. That should be like a universal way of thinking, right? Everyone, we should all think that way. Okay, Edwina Justice found herself in the spotlight in 1976, becoming UP's first Black female engineer at the age of 34. Hey, she was working as a traction motor clerk in Omaha, Nebraska, when she visited a mechanical shop to learn how locomotives work. As a self-described fashion plate, she wore a dress and high heels to the tour. She immediately climbed on the locomotive and asked questions. She joked that operating a locomotive seemed easy. The guys at the shop challenged me to put in an application and I hit it off with the personal manager. Justice said, when I received the offer in North Platte, Nebraska, my dad encouraged me to take it. Yes, encouragement from parents. Look at it. I don't know if you can see her. This is the black woman. Look at her. Slaying. With her hair all curly. Known as Curly among family and coworkers, Justice enjoyed meeting people across the country. At the time, her husband was on the brink of a promotion with another company, but was able to land a job at UP as a fireman oiler in North Platte with the possibility of following in his wife's footsteps and becoming an engineer. Look what happened there. She motivated her husband. Guys, I kind of wanted this live just well talk about women, of course, but to also share that being a female is not an issue. Being a female is not a weaker position. Um, Being a female is awesome, in my opinion. Like I sometimes I'm just like, ooh, thank God I'm a female, because man, you guys go through a lot. Like I'm not even gonna. We go through a lot, but you guys go through a lot too. And just from my standpoint, we shouldn't let gender get in the way of anything. Period. We should not let gender get in the way of our vision. Gender getting in the way of our passion. Gender getting in the way of how we should treat others or how others should treat us. No, we create our own standards. We teach people how we want to be treated, right? And vice versa. So, guys, that's kind of just what I wanted to say today. And next live, I'm going to try to do Tuesdays and Thursdays and talk about the decade of the 60s. I think the 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe the 50s, but I'm gonna try to do every decade for the whole month. And yeah, Tuesday will be that day. I'll probably talk about the women in the 60s. Ooh, now the 60s was a decade too. But thanks for hanging with me. It has been 30 minutes. Hopefully, I kept you intrigued this whole time. And we'll continue this thing next week. And um, I was going to ask something else. Oh, web series. So it was unanimous. The web series. You guys want to see the web series. But I also wanted to get your opinion because I'm doing a docu series up to the web series of me interviewing writers and directors. Is that something you guys are interested in? Because the first video of that docu series drops on this Saturday. Because you guys, I've never written a script before, so I'm seeking tricks of the trade from other people. So if that's something you want to see, go ahead and give me a thumbs up or say yes. I'll be tuning in. But yeah, next video is tomorrow at 10 a.m. PST time. So I interviewed George Henry Horton, and yeah, he gave me some solid advice, and we just had a fun day. So thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for participating, Deborah. I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys Saturday in the chat box. All right, have a good one. Bye.